Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the annual meeting of the Racine Theatre Guild. Thank you for joining us virtually tonight. Our COVID committee got together a while back when we started our calendar meetings and determined about the annual meeting. Should we or should we not have it in person? There was talk about, as cases plateau or even decline, maybe we should be able to get together in person again. But the COVID committee recommended that maybe we hold off yet with tight gatherings and sharing food and that type of thing. So we decided once again to hold this meeting virtually. The meeting should probably only last maybe a half hour. So we thought it silly to call all of you into the building when we couldn't share food, we couldn't share fellowship. So we'll do this virtually, and hopefully this will be the last time we do this, and next year we will be back together in person, enjoying company and fellowship and great food. So I would like to welcome Steen Sanderhoff, our president. I'm the vice president.
I'll take any title that I can get. Good evening, everybody. I would like at this point to officially open the annual meeting of the Racine Theatre Guild according to the bylaws of the corporation. So the meeting is in session. It has been such a relief and pleasure to get back to the theatre. And great to see and hear all the activities under this roof. When we met for our last board meeting, the only place available was on stage among the props for the crew. Rehearsals in the green room, auditions in the lobby, and several times we had to stop our board meeting for a few minutes because of the sound of the saw from behind the stage. So I just love to see and hear all that activity here. Starting before Christmas, the stage lit up, and performances has been crammed in one after the other, and people have been responding. One sold out performance after the other. It's wonderful to see, and a confirmation of the popularity and the importance of Racine Theatre Guild in our community. The generosity of our patrons and our community has been unbelievable. And I cannot thank people enough. Together with some large grants, the balance sheet of the Guild is in good shape, and the future of the Guild is on solid grounds. With the future in mind, we have started upgrading our building, and this summer a new roof will be in place. No more buckets on the floor. A list of projects, large and small, are being worked on. We spent time and a lot of brain power this past winter establishing a strategic plan with the implementation starting in the next fiscal year. Stay tuned, exciting things are going to happen. All this does not happen by itself. Our staff, volunteers, patrons, and the board has been working hard and has contributed. The last couple of years has proven the importance and vitality of the Guild. So I like to thank you all many times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank everybody enough for all the efforts that has been put into this. So now we will go to the election of 2 new board members representing the membership. The nominating committee has nominated Samantha Sosjacek and Ruth Lassalle to join the board for a 3-year term starting July 1st, 2022. Being virtual, you as a member of the corporation will receive an email from Joycelyn to vote for the candidates. So please check your email boxes and return your vote electronically. I will now turn over the meeting to Doug that will give us the state of the Guild. Doug.
All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so odd that when we were in person 2 years in a row, we got snowed out. And now that we go virtual, it's a beautiful day outside. So we can expect snow next year when we do the annual meeting. As you know, the bylaws say every year we have to have an annual meeting. It's usually in April to tell everybody the state of the Racine Theatre Guild, answer questions, elect board members, and just a chance to get everybody up to. It's run by the membership, so you should have a say, and you should be able to hear what's going on. So Joycelyn informs me that online you can send her notes if you have any questions, or you want to email me or give me a call or stop by. But really, we do want to answer your questions. We're always amazed on how stories get out to the public, and it's like, well, nobody ever called me about that. So call me, ask me questions. We're glad to answer any questions that you have. I know a lot of questions start off with the COVID rules and what's happening at the Theatre Guild. So as you know, we had a very long list of policies that it seems every week are getting shorter and shorter. As Bob said, the COVID committee has been taking this very seriously, looking at a lot of different other theaters, what they're doing, what the city's doing, what the regulations are. And so we've been going along with them. So where we're at the Theatre Guild is that we are a mask recommended but optional organization. So if you want to wear a mask, great, but you're not going to be harassed at the door or made to wear one while you're in the building. We are still trying to separate the actors from 200 strangers in the green room. So we're trying to keep just the family backstage. And we are still requiring vaccinations for the actors and the backstage crew. As things change, we'll let you know. That policy still goes through Into the Woods, which is having auditions coming up end of April, beginning part of May. However, if you're not vaccinated, you're still welcome to help out in other areas. It's just in the backstage crews, and for the actors, they need to be vaccinated still. All right, state of the Guild. We are doing great, as Steen said. The balance sheet looks good. We wondered when we came back if the audiences would come back, if the actors would come back, and the answer is yes. They've come back way better than we expected. So we started off the summer with, when we were still shut down, doing the Laramie project online. Tried to get the community involved. We had over 100 people involved in the project, and as I like to call them, muggles, non-theater folk from all over the community. And it was very exciting to see the RTG regulars and people who've never done that before kind of join forces for a good project and to tell a great story. It was a lot of work. We learned a lot of things. We had a lot of fun. I think the thing we learned the most is that we really like to do plays. That plays are the thing that we like to do, and we're very excited to be back doing them. We were able to make a small donation to the LGBTQ Center of Southeastern Wisconsin, which was helpful. It's always nice to join forces with other local groups. Other things happening. You've probably heard by now that after having a couple of years off, Chris decided that he did not want to return to the Theatre Guild. He still loves us, but this is a thing that's happening in the theater world, that people, when they experience real life, they decide, I don't know if I want to come back or not. So Chris is still going to be around, but he decided to step down as our technical director. He's still willing to help out, design a show. I think he's still doing a lot of stuff with Fireside, but he's got a freelance life now. He's got control over his life, so he likes that. So we have a new person, Jane Cernick. I want to call her Sarge Nick. Cernick. Jane Cernick is our new technical director. If you haven't met her, please stop by and say hi to her. She's great. She's having a lot of fun. She's still learning where all the bathrooms are, so I'm sure you'll have stories to tell her, but please come by and say hi to her. Other things, after we opened in December, we were tasked to try to fill 6 shows in a time period where we normally do, 8 shows, plus the fact that we do 2 jazz concerts, spotlight concerts. So we jammed a lot of things in the season. And the actors came back. We were so glad to see so many people at auditions, and the audiences really came back. We were very concerned that everybody would stay away, and season tickets were down. And that worried us. When you start a season, you like to have a lot of season tickets. They were down, but cash sales way more than made up for that. So we prefer everybody to pay the higher ticket price at the door than they did getting a discount off a season ticket. So that went great. So we started off with a Christmas Story. Again, way past budget, way over budget as far as revenues go. We were everybody was thrilled to be back, even though everybody had to wear masks and follow COVID procedures. Everybody did really well. Everybody seemed to follow the procedures well. Then we went into Nonsense, and unfortunately, COVID then hit the Theater Guild, and we had to cancel one of our weekends, but we made up for it in the other weekends. People came out, that made budget. Then we did this little fun ice fishing show, Guys on Ice. Who knew that that would be so popular? Again, everybody came out. Ticket sales were way over what I budgeted. And then we hit Clue, and Clue did the same thing. Sold out performances. Matter of fact, I believe Clue is the highest sales for a non-musical that we've done that Joycelyn and I and Terry could figure out. So kind of a record-breaking show at the Racine Theatre Guild. So all those went great. So the Theatre Guilds, as Steen said, our budget's looking really wonderful. We had jazz concerts. The jazz concerts went really well. Again, a lot of things at the last minute, not a lot of season ticket sales, but a lot of people buying tickets at the door, which again, it makes you a little nervous at the time, but always has a higher ticket price, so everything was great there. Things coming up, Aquila and the Bee and Mamma Mia. We've got 2 more shows coming up. Both of those were in rehearsal when we shut down. So we gave the cast first opportunity to come back, and many of them did, some of them didn't. So we had to have auditions for them, and Aquila is getting ready to go. Now, if there's one concern that we have is moving forward at the Theatre Guild is our outreach programs, to be honest with you, because the schools aren't willing to commit like they used to. For, I think it's 35 years, the Theatre Guild has provided a middle school program. And it's something that we're very proud of. We take great pride in it. And you know, thousands of kids' first experience at the Theatre Guild or seeing live theater was at the Theatre Guild. And some people don't get to go to theater unless the schools take them. So it's a very important program for us. And it's been canceled technically. And so now we're on our own as far as trying to contact schools, book schools. Doug Klum is our contact at Unified, and he hopes that they'll be able to reinstate that outreach program. But right now, that's not happening. So as we move forward, we'll be working really hard to keep that as it is, because I think it's so vital to our mission to introduce young people to live theater. So we're working on that. That opens April 22nd. And we hope you'll come out and support the Aquila cast who stuck around for 2 years to do this play. So please come and join that. Mamma Mia, we've already scheduled a 4th weekend. We are not sold out. Please do not tell people we are sold out. We hope to be sold out, and maybe we will be sold out in a few weeks. But right now we have tickets. So please join us for Mamma Mia. That opens May 20th. And then we have a concert coming up. Children Will Listen, May 24th. Rob Cruz and company will be doing a spotlight concert, and we hope you'll join us for that. So that is this year. So we got a lot of things jammed in, and things are going really well. Next year, a lot of you want to know who's directing what's going on. So I'll just give you a quick rundown on that. Into the Woods. We have auditions coming up April 30th, May 1st. Please sign up. Again, you need to be vaccinated to audition for the show. Please call the box office. Rob Cruz is our music director and director for the production, and Mary Lee Storino is going to be doing the choreography. I'll be directing Native Gardens. Sean Britton is directing Drop Dead. Little Mermaid, that would be Mary Lee, Greg, and I will be doing that. Perfect Wedding, Mike Klickner is the director. Tin Woman, we still hope to do, but to be honest, we haven't received the rights to do that yet. So hopefully I will be directing that, and we will keep trying to get the rights for this wonderful play. And then Edison Melendez is our director for Stand and Deliver. You may remember Edison. He was in Sherlock Holmes many years. Speaking of an outreach play, he was in that number of years ago. And then Mary Lee, Greg, and I will be working on Sweeney Todd to close out the season. Then I'm still working on the Children's Theater. Got a lot of contacts out. People are looking at dates. We're talking to a lot of local schools, universities, some professional groups in Milwaukee. I can announce that the Racine Unified Fine Arts School is going to be performing November 18th, 19th, and 20th. So we've always talked about joining forces with fine arts, and so we're going to be doing that. So I'm excited about that. Steen already talked about, we're getting a new roofs and facilities things going on. We're in negotiations with the city to repave the back parking lot. I know many of you have been very excited about that. We've replaced all of our outdoor lighting, so it's very exciting. You know, back parking lot is not a scary place anymore. And we're still working on replacing Sharon's cleaning service. We're still haven't made any decisions about that, but we're hoping to make a decision about it. Cleaning staff, so if anybody wants to clean the Theater Guild, give me a call. So that's the state of the Guild. We are doing great. You know, I made a joke that a lot of theater people are getting out of the business after they've experienced real life. That was not my feeling being down for 2 years. It made me really appreciate what we have and what we could miss at any time. So it's been very exciting to be back. I think everybody's just thrilled to be back in the building doing theater. And I can't wait till we get back to business as usual and to have our family together and eat and drink and gossip about each other, because that's what we do. Great. Again, if you have any questions being sent to you, no questions. Okay, great. So I'll turn you over to Joycelyn, and I will not be able to read her computer. So if you have any questions for Joycelyn, you're going to have to ask her directly.
Maybe trust me. Okay, so obviously my job has been very different over the last couple of years, and especially restarting come July 1st of this year. So let's look at the development side of my job first and foremost. So that has been a much larger part of my position than normal because we haven't had shows going on. So in December of 2020, there was actually a legislation passed under the CARES Act called the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant. The board of directors, as I have told them many times, this was one of the worst grant application processes I ever had to go through. It was run by the SBA, and we applied finally once everything came together in the end of April of last year, and we found out that we got awarded $305,625 in July of last year. Then it went back to Congress because it was a $16.1 billion pool of money that had extra funds with it. And so they decided that people who had applied actually could kind of reapply with their same information for some supplemental funding. So we did actually in November of this last year receive an additional $175,228 for a total of $408,853. That's just, it's just crazy to kind of say that number, almost $500,000 to support our operations here. So that not only affects going forward, but it affects all the way back to March 2020. So we can use those funds to pay for all kinds of operating expenses, including staffing, including making sure the building is running up until next year. So that's going to be fun to fill out that report when that time comes, but it has been incredible to have that funding come through the federal government. We also did apply to the Packers Foundation in November, and we have some great funds to get a new Packy costume, which I've been researching different elephants online, and there are some terrifying elephant costumes up there, but we're going to try and not make Packy terrifying. We're gonna make him a fun-loving guy. We also, with the Racine Community Foundation, the way that the foundation is set up, you each year can apply for a grant from them if you would like. You have to submit a letter of intent in January of that year, and then you're invited to apply for funding later in the year. So we submitted a letter of intent in January of 2021 requesting $30,000 in operational support. And when we applied in October, we did actually receive that full $30,000 in December to help again with operations here at the theater. The other huge thing that has just been overwhelming and continues to be overwhelming is the absolute generosity of both the patrons, you as volunteers, coming in with individual gifts of all sizes, literally everything from $5 to $15,000 plus. You know, it's just crazy what this place means to so many people, and getting all those donations coming in and helping support all the great work that happens here, both on and off stage. Marketing wise, like Doug said, we started this year with the Laramie Project, which was a whole new ball game experience. I actually filmed some of it on the current phone that is filming me, but I broke my other phone and process, you know, it's all fine. So that was quite something to get that up, learn about online streaming, which is a big thing that a lot of theaters are doing. See what worked for our audience, what didn't work for our audience, what worked on the back end of things. And just be a part of that was really quite something. And obviously to work with the LGBT Center and the Matthew Shepard Foundation was quite an honor. With the 84th season, once we announced that in September, I will say we have never gotten better press than having a story of we were closed and we got to reopen. It has been a great year for public relations for us, actually. We have some really good contacts with the Journal Times. We have great contacts with the Racine County Eye, CBS 58, and of course WGDD. So that's been wonderful to just help us spread the word about what's happening here, beyond, you know, the great pictures that Mike takes. You know, there's more to the story, and so it's good to expand upon that all and have it all together. We actually crashed the server twice on the day that individual tickets went on sale. It's kind of hard to think about that we had a line, you know, that day almost to, you know, the kiosk here, and it was just phenomenal to see that all come together. And just in general, it's been interesting to navigate COVID-19 updates of masks, no masks. That's most of the questions that I've been fielding on my end have been about that. So thanks for keeping up with that. So with the 85th season, we've got a lot of buzz of what's on the horizon. Season renewals have just dropped in a lot of people's mailboxes. Lots of very excited people, both on the patron side, and I know you as volunteers have a lot of excitement going on too. So that's pretty much the gist of what's happening. You know, I feel like I'm doing more than I talk about, but you get the snippet. But you know, again, my job is not possible with everything that you are able to commit, both your talents and your time, to the theater. So thank you so much for that. And I will turn it over to Bob.
All right, so as I promised in the beginning, we weren't going to take up too much of your time. So thank you again for joining us. Again, next year, we hope to be back in person. So I look forward to that. As a reminder, look for your email for your voting on the 2 new recommended board members. And also watch your email for a save the date. I've yet to hear back from the hall confirming our end of year party, but we are going to have a party this year. It will be in person. There will be food. There will be merriment. So watch emails for that. As soon as I get a confirmation back, I will send out save the dates and then finally an invitation. So thanks again for tuning in, and be well.